First question, write short note on the following. So, first hydrological canyons. So, hydrological cycle, submarine canyons, and paleomagnetism, isostacy, atmospheric instability, and second question, 2a question, outline the characteristics of polar climate types. 2b, examine the characteristic of potential evapotranspiration. And third, 2c, what are the characteristics of channel morphology. And 3a, explain the types and distribution of precipitation. And 3b, what are the major marine deposits and examine the distribution pattern. 3c, discuss the concept of environmental degradation. 4a, write short note on soil profile. Also outline the major types. What are the 4b, what are tides and discuss the tide generated movements. And what are the approaches of landform development. The hydrological cycles is the cycle movement. Hydrological cycles is the cycle movement of water containing basic continuous process like evaporation, precipitation, and runoff, then evaporation, then precipitation, then runoff. This is a continuous cycle which starts with evaporation from the water bodies such as oceans. Components of hydrological cycles. First is runoff. Runoff, it is water flowing over the land, making its way towards rivers, lakes, oceans, etc. As surface or subsurface flow. Subsurface runoff, it is running water over the land and which ultimately discharges the water to the sea. Subsurface runoff, the water getting infiltration into pervious soil mass, making its way towards rivers and lakes, can be termed as subsurface runoff. Precipitation, it is fall of moisture from atmosphere to the soil, to the earth's surface in any form. Example, rain, hail, snow, sleet, glaze, drizzle, snow lakes. Evaporation, it is the conversion of natural liquids like water into gaseous form like air. And condensation, it is conversion of a water, it is a conversion of a vapor or gas to a liquid. Transpiration, it is the evaporation takes place from any place or greenery. Example, water droplets on a leaf getting evaporated into what atmosphere. Evapotranspiration, it is the combination of evaporation and transpiration. Infiltration, it is the process of filtration of water to the inner layers of soil based on the structure and nature. Previous soils go through more infiltration than impervious. Infiltration in soils like sand, gravel, and coarser material is more, and for finer soil particles like clay and silt, infiltration is less. Infiltration is inversely proportional to runoff. Infiltration is inversely proportional to runoff. In a soil, if infiltration is less, the runoff is more. Similarly, more infiltration gives less runoff. Example, bitumen roads has more runoff than metallic red mud roads. Process of hydrological cycle. The process of hydrological cycle starts with ocean. Water in the oceans gets evaporated due to heat energy provided by solar radiation and forms water vapor. This water vapor moves upward to higher altitudes and forming clouds. Most of the clouds condense and precipitate in any form like rain, hail, snow, sleet. And a part of clouds is driven by winds. Precipitation. Precipitation while falling into the ground, some part of it evaporates back to atmosphere. portion of water that reaches the ground enters the earth's surface, infiltrating various strata of soil and enhancing the moisture content as well as water table. Vegetation sends a portion of water from Earth's surface back to atmosphere through the process of transpiration. Once water percolates and infiltrates, the Earth's surface runoff is formed over the land, flowing through the contours of land, heading towards rivers and lakes, and finally joins into oceans. After many years, some amount of water is retained as depression storage. Further again, the process of this hydrological cycle continues by blowing of a cool air and cool air over ocean, carrying water molecules forming into water vapor, then cloud getting condensed and precipitates as rainfall. Similarly, then water gets percolated into soil, increasing water table, then formation of runoff waters heading towards water bodies. Thus, the cyclic process continues. Depression storage. It is the part of precipitation required to fill depression zone of land. Interception. Part of precipitation required to wet the surface of soil, buildings and all previous surface. Water balance equation. Sum of inflow water is equal to sum of outflow water. Out of three phases like precipitation, runoff and evaporation, inflow is precipitation, runoff and evaporation comes under outflow. Runoff and evaporation comes under outflow, and however it can be written as precipitation minus runoff equals to evaporation. Precipitation minus runoff equal to evaporation. That gives precipitation P equals to evaporation plus runoff. Thank you.